Hi folks, I'm going to have a video. It's not a blue and gold talk, but it is a blue and gold talk type video, but I'm really not talking about the Sabres, so I'm just going to do a random video with a random thumbnail on this one. Look, there's a few things I want to go over, I want to talk about. I do want to touch on the draft lottery, some thoughts on that. I'm in a pissed off mood, it seems, this morning, so I might as well continue ranting. So those of you that like to watch me upset, you're probably going to enjoy this one, because I'm ticked. But first, okay, let's talk about business first. This is important. The Amerks, okay, are taking on the Marlies. I figure, look, if the Maple Leafs are going to lose, why not the Sabres farm team take out their farm team too and upset them in this series? We might as well, right? Keep the roll going. All right, the best of 5 series starts. Guys, I'm going to show you the schedule, and we'll talk briefly about this, but I do want to get into the draft lottery. Here we go. All right, North Division Finals. There you see it, guys. Best of 5. Thursday, it starts tomorrow night. Rochester at Toronto. Saturday, Rochester at Toronto. Then, not till the Wednesday after. My goodness. You know, these long, long stretches. But maybe it'll work in the Amerks' favor. Last one did. So we got 3 full days off after. So then they're at Rochester on Wednesday, at Rochester on Friday, the 19th. And then Sunday they close it up if there's a game 5 at Toronto. So let's hope the Amerks win this and advance. Eh? I mean, for a deep run, all of a sudden they'll be in a deep run. So they're 3 wins away, and they're not supposed to be here, right? Let's be honest here. They were down 2-0. They're really not supposed to be here, you know, according to, I would say, the experts, what they would say. And we'll see. We'll see if they can continue this run, because it'd be fun for us, guys. I know it's not the Sabres. It's still our kids, though, down there, and it's still our organization. And we want to see our organization have a lineage of winning. That's important. It is. So before the Sabres make the playoffs, if the Amerks could ever get to the finals or something, my goodness. All right. Now, I want to talk about, what did I mark down here? Draft lottery thoughts on the Amerks. Yeah, okay. So this won't be a very long video, I hope, because I'm ticked off about this. Now, this whole thing about the Blackhawks winning the draft lottery, guys, I'm going to put something out there, because the stupidest thing I see with hockey fans, this is how hockey fans make themselves look like the dumbest sports fans in the world sometimes. They actually believe that the lottery is rigged. They actually believe this. We live in a society now, folks, that if I spit on the ground, a satellite will catch it. You understand? Like, these conspiracy theorists, we should get rid of them. We should get them out of the league, because they don't do society any good. Those people that live in fear like that, they're the ones that go and get guns and shoot people eventually. These people that are full of fear and believe these things. It's just not true, okay? There's no rig to it. There's a system. Is the system flawed? Yes. Yes, it is flawed. Do teams tank? Yes, we tanked. Did our players tank? No, hell no, they did not tank. That team did not tank at all. Management tanked. The players, you can't make hockey players lose on purpose to get a player they don't give a shit about that isn't going to be there when they have the rest of their career. You think anybody gave a damn about Jack Eichel or Connor McDavid that was in that Sabres dressing room? Really? I mean, I've seen delusional Sabres fans. You can't be that stupid. Nobody can be that stupid to actually believe that the players in the Buffalo Sabres dressing room were trying to lose on purpose. Show me a game. Show me one example where show me a shift, tell me a time. I'll pull out 10 games on you that we should have lost in those 2 years, that we should have lost if it wasn't for goaltending and hard work and dedication to the game of hockey, why we won those games that night. Even with the whole tank thing hanging over our head. Believe me when I tell you that management hated Ted Nolan. Hated him, okay? They hated him because he went against them. Said, no, we're not tanking. You know, we're just not. LaFontaine wasn't on board for it. Like, there was some players, some people that just aren't on board for this. And guys, we seen what happened. We threw all our hopes on one player that we never got, okay? And the other player that we got is gone now. So all that suffering, all the suffering for the tank years, Those players are gone now, but we got return. We got a team now. We have a general manager that will never tank, ever, you know. And we have to move forward, and we have to believe that we're going to slap together what I think is going to be a Stanley Cup team eventually. So the reason I'm bringing up this draft lottery, though, what ticks me off, okay, about this is, it's not about, is it fixed, is it rigged? No, it's not that. What bothers me is why, and I'm going to give you one question, just one. Why was Arizona's first round pick taken away from them? Because they messed around with, I get it, some prospects behind the scenes. They're not supposed to do it right. Jacob made a mistake. All right, I get it. And they had to forfeit their first round pick. But then we have all this rape crap going on in Chicago. And they don't forfeit nothing. Like, how's that right? As an organization, they knew what was going on. So how's this right? How are they allowed to go and win a draft lottery when that was happening? Now, for their fans are loyal to a degree. Out of the original 6, I'd honestly say they're the 6th best fan base of the original 6. I think that's fair to say. Boston had better fans, Montreal had better fans, Toronto had better fans. You know, Rangers, Detroit. I mean, these teams all have a higher, bigger, those teams sell out. Those teams sell out. I mean, I remember back in the 70s, Detroit packing the building when the Red Wings sucked for years. Packing the building night after night after night. And meanwhile, the Kings would have a pretty good team with the Triple Crown line and packing 7,000 in their building. So original 6 teams are, that's a whole other video. But how are they allowed? How were they not penalized? Like, so these rape things are okay. But dealing with prospects and finding out what they can do on the side isn't? Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like baseball. Guys are allowed to beat up their wives. They're allowed to do that and get away with it. But don't gamble. Don't gamble or else you're banned. Let's go to strip joints and do cocaine all night long and get into fights and everything, and we'll cover it up with the media. That's okay. But don't gamble. Don't gamble on baseball games. I tell you, you know, some of the most corrupt things happen at the top levels. And Gary Bettman, as far as I'm concerned, is corrupt because he knew what was happening. He's a lawyer. He knew what happened, okay, with Chicago. He let them get away with it. Why? Because they're a big market team. Okay? What if he'd done that? What if that was Arizona that happened to? Let's just say a team struggling, although he loves Arizona. So let's give another example. Let's say Winnipeg, small market. Let's say if that happened in Winnipeg, what would have happened? You tell me, folks. Would have they been off the hook? Would have they still been allowed to keep their first round? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I just wonder about these things, guys. It rolls in my head and it bothers me. It does. It bothers me. They should not have been allowed to win that lottery. Now, the fact they got Bedard, I'm kind of happy for their fans. Their fans have suffered for years now. I kind of am. The only thing I don't like about Chicago is a silly thing about cheering through the national anthem, which I think is very disrespectful, actually. I know they think it's glory and everything. I think it's pure disrespect to World War II veterans. That's the way I see it, though. It's just me. And I'm Canadian. But I had a hard-ass grandfather who would knock out somebody if he thought they were German. I mean, like, my grandfather was very hardcore. And, you know, of course, I'm in a democratic state of mind. I mean, I don't see bad in anybody. I just know there's good and evil in the world. I don't think race plays into anything in life. Good and evil does. But when it comes to this thing about, you know, like patriotism and stuff, that's different, guys. You know, that's a whole different thing, too. But I'm trying to figure this out, man, and it's been driving me nuts. It's like, if any team should have got that, really, it's Arizona. That's a desperate franchise right now, hurting, you know. And I feel bad for them. And a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, they got the small rink. I don't want them to win. Well, you got your wish. And I hope for the people that wished Arizona not to get them, I hope they're in Chicago's division. I hope those people are, I hope those fans are, because you're going to have hell with Connor Bedard. Folks, the Blackhawks are going to get back on track with this kid. They're going to get back on track, and it's not going to take as long as you think. I'd say inside of 2 years, they're a playoff team, looking like New Jersey. In 2 years. That's how good this kid is. This kid is going to rival Connor McDavid. He's that good. This is the best prospect out of our country since Connor McDavid, easily. Is it the best? Is it the best ever? No. There's a kid named Wayne Gretzky and Bobby Orr that were better than all these other players. But what could he become? I mean, it's pretty obvious McDavid turned into the real deal. Will this kid also? Well, we're going to have to wait and see. Anyway, that's my rant on this, guys. It ticks me off. It's flawed. It's not corrupted, though. There's no such thing as a. People say, well, why can't we see the lottery live? You know why you can't see it, you morons that say this? They don't pick a thing like a Rangers ball out of the thing like they did that one year. That's not how it works. It's a lottery system. So what they do is they give you a set amount of numbers, the percentage that you have. If anybody knew anything about numbers, they know this already. You can't rig something like this. What do you think they're behind? And Gary Bettman's, I'm going to give it to Chicago. That's not how this works. Bettman doesn't give a damn. He doesn't. He kisses ass to everybody. He even called Chicago a dynasty. They weren't a dynasty, but he called them a dynasty. So, you know, he's trying to keep Arizona hockey alive. You think he wouldn't have made sure Arizona got that pick and he's going to give it to Chicago, who are a large fan base? He knows that they're fine and eventually they'll build a team again. He knows. My goodness, people. But when it comes down to this, it's a lottery system. You get enough to, you know, you get 25% of the tickets, you get 15, and then they draw the number. Anyway, they have all the list of the numbers, and I remember the year when Buffalo got it. They had these guys there too that were from the company that does the drafts, not the NHL that does the draft. And they're sitting there and they're looking through it and they're figuring out who won the lottery. And they go Buffalo. And Bettman goes, Buffalo? Like, you know what I mean? So that's not the way it works. I'm ranting, I'm getting off this video. I'm pissed off. As you can tell, I'm in a mood today. I'll see you in the next one. I should be in a better mood. See you then.